Welcome back. My name is Dr. Mike and I'm a physical therapist providing tips on how to build strength and longevity with your body. Now, if you're someone that is trying to get back to resistance training, or maybe you're just fearful of adding in some weights like kettlebells, barbells, or even dumbbells, I want to show you a powerful band exercise that you can use to help build up your posterior chain. Now, when we're talking about posterior chain, this is often a muscle group or a few muscle groups that often get neglected, and that is your glute muscles, your lower back erector spinae muscles, as well as your hamstrings. These muscles are extremely important when it comes to building a good foundation for your legs, for your lower back, and even your core. Now, I want to show you today a powerful banded exercise, and I say banded because this can be an easy exercise that you can incorporate at home, especially if you're just getting into some resistance training. Adding in bands, resistance bands, can add in extra challenges for your body weight exercises. Now, with this particular exercise, the reason why I love it so much, especially for the folks that I see on a regular basis that are 55 years old or even older, is that it really reinforces the hip hinge pattern. What is a hip hinge? This is our ability to bend our hip and bend over and pick objects off the ground. This is extremely important to practice because a lot of the people that I see constantly injure themselves when they're lifting heavy things or when they're bent over in a very poor posture. And that's why reinforcing that hip hinge can be extremely implemental, especially as we get older, so that we know that our hips and our body knows how to move in the proper form. Now, with this particular exercise, I have a green band, and what I'm gonna do to start this off is I'm gonna wrap this kind of around the upper trap, lower part of the neck there. I don't want it too high because it can put a strain on my neck, but right where my shoulders are, where my upper trap is located. Now, when I'm setting up this band, I can't hold on to something for balance, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the band down, and I'm actually gonna step one leg into the band, okay? You're also gonna bring in the other leg, and you're gonna be standing, and you wanna start with your feet about shoulder width apart. Now, what I'm gonna do is this band, as I'm standing up, is trying to pull me down. This is the point of the exercise, is because now I'm starting to feel my lower back and my glutes really making an effort to keep me upright. And this is a phenomenal exercise to really train these muscles. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to focus on now keeping a nice tall chest, pull my shoulder blades back, and now I'm gonna focus on shooting those hips backward. We're calling this a hip hinge. This exercise is called a banded good morning. Very, very important for learning the pattern of not just picking up objects off the ground, but if you eventually want to get to performing deadlifts using kettlebells or barbells, this is a great exercise to start incorporating before you get to some loaded exercise. I normally perform about 2 sets of 10 repetitions at a time. And each time that you bend over, you're focusing on keeping your chest tall. You're focusing on reaching with your hips backwards. And notice my knees, they have a slight bend in the knees. I don't want them fully locked out like a straight leg deadlift. I want a slight bend in the knees and getting all the bend through my hips rather than my lower back. This looks a lot different compared to using my hips and that fulcrum to really bend over. You don't need any weights, obviously. All you need is a resistance band. And after 2 sets of about 10 reps at a time, you're gonna start to feel the lower back muscles working, the glutes, and even the hamstrings. And then once you're done, you can slowly move 1 foot out at a time of the band. And that is gonna be a phenomenal exercise that you can implement to build a stronger posterior chain and lower body. And I think many people should incorporate this particular exercise, especially if you've never done any deadlifts before. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe below. If you want more tips on how to build strength with resistance band, I made a playlist here that you can follow. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next one.